Hi there, I'm Neil, also known as the Hairy Man, and going to talk to you today about another heroic call at Empire, the Strikedown call. In order to call Strikedown, you normally have to have the hero skill, the mighty Strikedown skill, and weapon master. There are other ways, of course, of achieving this, but the usual caveat applies. Yes, you can do it with artisan items and certain magical rituals, but that's not what I'm covering here. I'm just covering using it with the hero skill. But if you want more details on anything like that, you'd be advised to check the Empire wiki. So, Strikedown requires you to purchase the hero skill. This costs 2 points and it provides 2 uses of the hero skill. Any further purchases of the hero skill cost 1 point more and give you 1 extra hero point. So if you want to buy the second level, it costs 3 points, the third level costs 4 points, and so on and so on. Now, you need to buy the Strikedown, the mighty Strikedown skill, which costs 1 point, and the weapon master skill, which costs 2 points. Now, in order to make the call, you must be wielding a weapon, and that weapon must be a polearm or a spear held in 2 hands. And bear in mind, the rules for using a polearm or a spear in 2 hands state that your hands must have at least 18 inches between them, so that you've got control and safety over the weapon itself. So, as I say, you can use a spear as well. But you can't use the spear one-handed. It must be in 2-handed mode in order to use this call. So to make the call, you do your appropriate role play, whatever you choose that to be. You strike with your weapon and you call Strikedown. So unlike some calls, Strikedown will affect your opponent if they block it with a shield or if they parry it with a weapon or an implement. So what do you have to do if you're hit by Strikedown? Well, providing it hits you and you haven't parried it, you'll take the 1 global hit and you must fall to the floor. Now, this is defined on the PD website as your buttocks or your torso must touch the floor before you can make any move to get back up. So they specifically said you can't dive into some kind of ninja combat role and spring back up to your feet, and nor can you crouch down or fall to your knees. That's not what this call is. This call is literally you have been struck so hard or tripped that you have gone off your feet. The only time where you will not have to fall to the floor if you are hit by someone calling Strikedown is if you get hit on the head. You still take the 1 global hit of damage, but you don't have to fall over. Now, for safety and or comfort's sake, you can take up to 2 steps when you're hit and fall either somewhere safe. So if you're in a line fight and somebody hits you with Strikedown and you don't really fancy falling on the floor and potentially being stepped on, you can take up to 2 steps before falling over. And similarly, because Empire takes place outside and we all know that weather is never kind at a LARP, if you don't want to avoid falling in the mud or in a puddle, you can take 2 steps to avoid it. You can't use it to make a tactical retreat, and you can't take any kind of offensive action while you're doing it. So it's not a case of get hit by Strikedown, take 2 steps, hit a couple of orcs on the way down and then fall over. You can take 2 steps and fall over. So again, Strikedown differs from a lot of other calls. Some calls you can ignore if you're wearing a certain kind of armour. Strikedown is not one of those calls. It doesn't matter if you're wearing your nightshirt or whether you're head to foot in heavy plate armour. If you get hit by Strikedown anywhere other than on the head, or even if you block or parry it, you are falling over. However, if for whatever reason you have you have something that makes it impossible or unsafe to follow the rules for falling to the ground, then you can instead follow the rules for being what PD refer to as non-contact. That is, you must raise your hand high in the air, and at that point you're on your death count and you're dying. Regardless of how many hits or anything else you had left, that's it, you're on your death count. So, hope that makes things a little clearer, because this is a slightly different call to the other ones that we've dealt with. So, in summary, the call is made with a polearm or a spear used in 2 hands, between 80 and 84 inches in length, with your hands separated by at least 18 inches. Even if you parry the blow with a shield or weapon, you still take the call. Head hit's the only way you don't take the call, but you still take the 1 global hit. Your buttocks or your torso must touch the floor before you can make any move to get up. You cannot crouch down or drop to your knees. You may take 2 steps in order to avoid danger or getting wet, for want of a better word. So, hope that made things a little bit clearer. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be back with another guide to calls in the Empire system. Cheerio.